Yeah, actually go to Wisdom of Solomon 3. We done verse 6.
That's good.
All right. Shalawam, shalawam.
Shalawam.
All right, first and foremost, when we get started, giving all praise and the glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakudash. Double honors once again, as always, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us truth. Peace, much love, and salutations as always into the for elect. All right, the brothers are in Great Millstone Nashville. Another Sunday lesson. All right, all through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Lord's will. It'd be edifying. Okay, and pretty much we're going to jump straight into it. Again, Lord willing, this is edifying into Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter. All right, because we're ultimately coming into this time of our faith being tried. We're getting ready to be tested on a whole nother level. Okay, so it's important to make the proper precautions, the proper moves. Prepare yourself now. As Nabas says in Memphis, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it's very vital that we, tap into these things now, make these changes now so that way in that time we can ultimately be defended. All right, so whoever got it can go ahead.
At the top?
Yeah, start at the top.
Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, or God. It says, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and the departure is taken for misery.
Yeah, but it said, there shall no torment touch them. All right, the souls of the righteous are in the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So that ultimately right there, we should be going purely based off of the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Is it not written? It says, cause them to be written in paper for their faithful and truth. So the Lord is saying that the righteous souls are going to be in his hand. Ultimately, they're going to be under his protection, under his wings. When it's all said and done, we have nothing to worry about. Now we're in this flesh, so fear is going to be an aspect of this. Okay, but we're to move with confidence. The scriptures say, the Lord not giving us a spirit of fear. If somebody wants to get that real quick. I don't know why motherfuckers wait till the lesson and start calling you.
You gotta keep continuing on that.
Oh, you getting it? Yeah, get that preset real quick.
2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
All right. Read that again, Salakia.
2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Right, power and love of a sound mind. Okay, the Lord has not given us the spirit of fear. We're not to be, we fear the Lord. All right, don't get it twisted, but we're not to be moving throughout Babylon, all right, with fear, with timidness. I don't know if the troops are going to get me. I don't know. You lack faith. And if you find yourself to be in that state, in that mindset, well, you need to pray. You need to ask the Lord to give you more faith. And it's not going to come to you in the form of a gift basket, but he's going to put you through certain trials to test your faith. Because you find yourself doing that. You'll ask the Lord for something, and you'll be put through the most hell, but then you look back, like, damn, I got through it. Well, the Lord rewarded you with that, he gave you that faith to get through it. He gave you that courage, that strength. All right?
And the struggle's only for a short time.
Yeah, exactly.
Struggles, they pass quickly when you think back and you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
The time you was either locked up, or something small, it was relatively quick.
Yeah, and the grand scheme of things is, once we get into the kingdom of heaven, this is going to be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look back like, this is all we had to do you know, do videos, go to camp, make these sacrifices to reign for eternity with Yahushua. It was easy, but it doesn't seem currently, you know, what does it say? No present, no chastisement seeming to be joyous, something like that. Is that Hebrews?
Yeah, Hebrews
12? Yeah.
I'm in Hebrews 12.
Oh, okay, come on. Well, there you go. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I had something else. I can get that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I got this because you saying that we should be moving through Babylon with fear. You worry about the troops.
Yeah.
So Hebrews 12 and 2, it says, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith. So, you know, it says that he's the author and finisher. He's the, well, him and Yahweh Shai, you know, they written your story.
Yeah.
They're the ones that send the enemy, you know, you can't forget that. So you're not supposed to, let's say Matthew 10:28, you're not supposed to fear men.
Yeah.
You're supposed to fear the one that can destroy both soul and body in hell. So we know who the Lord is sending. Esau Edom, which is his sword, for who the 2/3 are ultimately to test us. You know, because we the ones that's seeking righteousness and that's condemning this evil place. So fear the Lord. It says, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross. He went through his chastisement and he got through it. It says, despising the shame, which we're going to be put through that, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. So here you have a depiction of what he went through, and now you see at the end of that tunnel, that light of where he sits at now, which is on the right hand of the Heavenly Father, and that will never change.
Yep.
He got his glory in heaven. He got to get that on earth. You know, how much more of his man, you know?
Well, you say that it never changed going into, and it says a name that no other man knew, roughly paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
You know, going to the rank, the Yahushua's rank, nobody else is going to be remotely close to that. He's the only begotten Son, the only spirit created by the Heavenly Father. You know, and everything, all power was given unto him.
Yeah.
You know, nobody else can, none of the angels, none of the elect, nobody else can say that. You know? Go ahead.
And I got the Hebrews 12:11.
Yeah.
It says, now no chastising for the present seeming to be joyous but grievous.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem joyous at that current point in time, you know, which is never going to be. Chastisement is never going to be a good thing. All right. Suffering is never going to be a good thing. It's not going to feel good because the flesh just wants to do what? Feel good. So when you're doing things that's completely contrary to that, or you're going through hell, let's say car problems, job problems, women problems, health problems, especially health, that shit is terrible. You know, everything else could be going perfectly in your life, but if your health is fucked up, you can't even enjoy it. You know, being sick is one of the worst things, you know, that you can really go through. Or bodily ailment, you know, you fracture something or some shit, because it just throws you off. But yeah, it's not joyous, but it's going to ultimately, you'll reap the benefits of going through that down the line.
I
You know,
got a different version for you.
Yeah, come on.
The GNT, Hebrews 12:11, when we are punished, it seems to us at the time something to make us sad, not glad.
Yeah, but the thing too, you have to keep in mind what Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. You know, until he plead my cause. We went off, so like I just said, this is a punishment. This captivity is a punishment. Even, you know, we're doing the right thing, we're trying our best, but we're still answering for things that we did in this current life and past lives, to the point to where we don't know. So when you get that random ass shit on a Tuesday evening, it's like, where the fuck did this come from? Well, it could be from 2 lives ago. It could be from 8 lives ago. It could be from this life. You don't really know. And you're answering for so many. That's why Yahushua's sacrifice is so important, because through his blood, all of those things get washed away.
He went through it.
Yeah.
He was beaten with the rod of man, as you know, Yahushua. And it was said that you know, Solomon was told that, I believe, you know, showing that, you know, reincarnation. When you come back, that's in Ecclesiastes, was it 3 or 1? The under the earth, there's a place of judgment. Under the sun, there's a place of
I know
judgment,
what you're talking about.
which is the earth. On earth, you play out that judgment.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's why he had to, like you said, he spoke about him being beaten. But like I said, Adam didn't go through that.
Yeah.
Solomon didn't go through that. And even on the earth, Yahweh Shai was perfect, but he still had to pretty much die a criminal's death.
Yeah.
And that was because he had to answer for those prior times. Both those times are pivotal times in our history. Through Adam, that was obviously that first fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the falling away of Jake, of the sons of God, and we were just through. And then you got the refreshing with the covenant and all that, and then you go to Solomon, and he fell away. Yeah. And then that was the split of the kingdom, and then you got all this other. So through those 2 times, we was pretty much just through and fucked up. And so Yahweh Shai, he got it perfect this time, but he still had to pay for those previous acts. You know? Yep. But through that last sacrifice, that's when he conquered death. Because he don't have to come back on the earth anymore. He's done.
Just to redeem his people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and plus the kingdom, you know, but he don't have to actually.
Right, that's You know the water, come on.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, and as far as coming in the flesh. But you're right though, you're right. That's the only time. Next time he comes to the earth, it's going to be to take over and to deliver his people.
Yep, like that's supposed to be.
Yep, exactly.
And then I got more. It says, it says later, however, those who have been disciplined by such punishment reap the peaceful reward of a righteous life. And
we're going to reap the peaceful reward. You know, we're going to receive a righteous life by going through these sacrifices, man. By putting up these sacrifices, making your body a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Putting off the deeds of the flesh. Not getting engulfed. We was kind of tapping into this a little bit yesterday at camp. You know, not being entangled with these niggas. We have to have a different mindset. That's the only way that we're going to be able to reign.
Kingdom mindset.
Yeah. And it says in Romans, the 8th chapter, I believe, you know, if we suffer with him, we shall reign with him also. In so many words. Okay.
It's almost over, really.
Yeah. And bro, you look at the times that we're going into. That's all. What's that? 2nd Ezra 9. You got to measure the time, diligent within themselves. We're measuring the times. We're linking current events and going to the Bible and seeing what it's talking about, what is and how it links up. It's all linking up. Everything is happening, and jumping off the process and jumping off the pages as we speak. So we know that Yahweh Shai is returning soon. We know that it could very well be. There's a strong possibility of it being within the next year.
Rise from your grave.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring up the dead. And everybody gonna.
Yeah, the righteous. Yep.
I was thinking about the Valley of Dry Bones.
Oh,
Yeah. That like I said, we're getting back into the state that we were actually meant to be in from the jump. Yeah. We're returning back to the garden. That's really what when it's all said and done. That's what we're going back to.
Super garden.
Yeah.
Because the earth gonna be like into a super earth. When the kingdom's established,
it's gonna be perfect. And again, this is the gospel, the good news. And we bring this to our people, and they don't want it. They shun at it. So it's not meant for them. That's this world is for me, but the world to come is for few. It's not difficult. It's all said and done. Got it? Yeah, go ahead.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 13. And after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our God, hast punished us less than our iniquities deserve, and hast given us such deliverance as this.
Yeah, and see, we deserve way worse than what we're going through currently now. Because, see, this is the light affliction. Back then when Jake was, full on getting lynched, split apart by horses and shit, and crocodile bait. That was the hardcore anger of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Now, you niggas are getting shot by yourselves. You didn't get the officer your license, nigga. That's on you.
Yeah.
Your back hurt, stretch. You know, you ain't
Drink
taking no
some
herbs.
water.
You know, yeah, drink some water,
Sometimes
exercise.
Mhm.
You know, change your diet, and even then, brothers is still living healthier lifestyles than ever, and still be catching more bodily health than these regular niggas on McDonald's. But that that's part of bearing the indignation. But you always got to keep it in mind. We deserve way more than what we have. So really, you have no choice but to be grateful through the chastisement. You praise the Lord within it. You know what I'm saying? Don't, oh yeah, thank you, Lord, for this bad need. No, like, but you know what I'm saying? You just gotta, yeah, right. I needed this. I wanted to start my next week with this. This is it. Like, no, bro. That's not how you treat the chastisement. But at the same time, hey, the warrior about my shot that this is it.
Better than what the heat.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. All you did was fuck up my car. All you did was fuck this up. Oh, I'm out of job for a couple months. Okay, we'll figure it out. Because it could very much well be worse. It could very much well be worse.
And he still helps you through that.
Yeah, and yeah, even then, you still be getting by. So how you get fucked up and still get by? That's mercy. And we got to be grateful because a lot of the times we can overlook that. We can overlook all the goodness that Yahweh Shema Shah is still doing for us, even in our times of calamity, even in our times of trouble. Yeah, you getting fucked up, but bro, you still getting fed. You still got a place to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you still might have a job, even if you don't. Your bills are still getting paid. Now all of a sudden, you got all these helpful ass cousins and friends and shit. And then obviously, you got the brothers. But outside wise,
He still use anybody.
Yeah, exactly. The Lord will use anybody.
His power ain't limited.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people, they try to put the Lord in a box. No, the Most High is capable of doing whatever the hell he wants to make sure his men are taken care of. We was talking about it yesterday. Niggas might have, not us, but you might have a friend in the world that fuck around and get a chip, and he just sliding you food on the side.
Like, bro, I remember back when.
Yeah.
We grew up together. You did all this for me. Bro, I got you, bro.
Yeah. Like I told y'all, the dude at my job that got me onto the job, he was like pretty much, and he was talking about, I was in the world. He was talking about some shit back then, but he's like, man, you always looked out. You ain't never asked for nothing in return. So I was like, I felt like I owed you. I was like, shit. Yeah, I didn't even remember. That's just, I'm just doing that shit off the strength. But he remembered all that shit. And so he's like, I never forget any good that anybody does to me. So he's like, I needed to. And, and really, it was through the spirit, because ever since then, life been, better off with that job. Way better than my last shit. So granted, you still got your little adjustments, ups and downs or whatever, but hey, you gonna always have that shit. But the point is, the Most High is gonna use anybody to make sure that we're good when it's all said and done. You had something else?
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned.
Can you get 6? Can you jump up to 6 real quick?
Yeah. I gotta go to the chapter. Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies.
And that, again, that's something that we have to remember. We have nobody to blame but ourselves. This is the accountability aspect of the faith. You come into the truth and it's all cute and yeah, I'm Israelite, yeah, but then you have to sit down and look in the mirror like, nigga, damn. We actually used to be a powerful, mighty nation, and now look at us. Slaves, just low. Listen to the music, the music we're listening to, the food we're ingesting, the places we're living. It's like, God damn, how do you fall that low? That's the power of the Lord. Yahweh Shema took the top nation and just turned them to just straight nothing. But he still kept that remnant. So it's humbling. A lot of J come into the truth and turn powerful. You can't do that. You have to remain humble. Okay? Because the Most High gave us this knowledge, this gift, this wisdom, and took it away from you just as quick. Look how quick it all it took was one post or one this or one that. that same amount of time can be taken to get your ass up out of here. The spirit can be snatched away from you just like that. So we got just again, you got to be mindful. This is because of our disobedience, but that's all right. Go ahead, jump back down.
Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek Him 10 times more.
Yeah, 10 times more, which I believe is So seek Him 10 times a perfect, a more perfect way, if you will. You need to seek Him more than before. All right, because we're not going to catch up. We're not going to be able to. How many lessons you do or camps, and you ain't going to be able to work all that, bro.
And it says the race is not to the swift. So
right.
You're not going to sit here and just, I'm going to study 5 chapters a day or 10. Well, I mean, bro, we don't have time for that. It was a time period.
When you first came in, that was the
prophecies weren't popping off. Your life was going a little bit different. I had time to sit there.
First came in.
Yeah.
When you look back to when you first came in, because remember we used to do them Google Hangout videos, bro. We be on them motherfuckers for like an hour and 40 minutes, bro. Just going in, but we was fresh. You know what I'm saying? Jake ain't put their foot in the water yet. Then that hell started hitting, and it's shit. And then we got closer and closer, and now you blink, bro. You barely got time. You gotta make time.
Yeah.
And this is why this now is more of a fight than it was before. Before you had nothing but time. Mm-hmm. Now you gotta.
It's about balance.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, it's balance. Before, but we were in our youth, and that zeal was,
That's also what happens when fire first starts.
Yes, it kicks up.
Yeah.
It's hot.
And the Lord's like gearing you up to be a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of guys or whatever, they come into it, they might not study like that. They might not even really just teach. They'll tell you, it's real and it's hard. But as far as being a teacher, the Lord be a teacher.
Then now you still have to study.
Yeah.
Study to show thyself approved. And then also too, it's always good to sharpen up on things. Like there's a lot of shit. Like we was talking about yesterday. I need to I'm probably gonna go back into Samuel. It's been a minute. But I mean shit, all the prophecies, all the history, all that. It's always good to go back and resharpen that sword. So that way it's still usable. You don't want to get dull. Mm-hmm. But again, we still don't have that same amount of time as before. So we just gotta manage it better. You have more?
Okay. I got something going back to that Second Ezra's Wisdom Solomon 3:1.
Yeah.
It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of hand of God. There shall no torment touch them. I'm gonna get this. Well, because we read verse 2, it says, in the sight of the unwise that seem to die, and the departure is taken for misery. Well, we're gonna see what Isaiah 57:1 says. It says, the righteous perish, and no man laid it to heart to his mind, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. And so that's like unto those that pass away in the truth, they've been taken away from the evil to come. And really too, if you're in the guillotine, you end up being a martyr for the Lord, you're taken away from the evil to come. What's the evil? Ultimately, it's gonna be them missiles when they come to hit Babylon the Great. And really the elect, the 1/3, they're gonna be taken away from the evil. Because when the missiles hit, that's it. If you're slated to be here on the shores of America, when the missiles hit, that's it. The Lord didn't make no mistake. It was chosen from the foundation of the world who should perish. But the main thing is that we lost brothers. They passed away, but they're taken away from the evil to come. And then that First Thessalonians 4 is gonna happen under them. They're gonna be the first ones, risen when the Lord returns. And then we shall be gathered together within the clouds of the elect. And then I'm keeping that Wisdom of Solomon 3.
Yeah. And
3, it says, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. And it says,
they're in peace. Mm-hmm. And that's if a brother passes away in the faith, as we understand, that brother's at peace now, and he no longer has to deal with this bullshit. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because even the Apostle Paul spoke about that. You know, it's better to be with Mashiach, but he understood it's needful for me to be here with you. And, you know, roughly paraphrasing that.
We all had that choice. Everybody be on.
Right.
It's just nobody here to teach.
But that'd be selfish. Because what about they still gotta eat? You know, and that's why it says he endure all things for the elect's sake.
I wish I didn't. He wasn't doing that. Well, he was technically for his past life sins as well,
right.
But he didn't have to do what he did for us.
He put the whole nation on his back.
Yeah.
The whole nation. First and foremost, the elect, but ultimately the whole nation. And that's why, you know, we get irritated with you niggas because y'all downplay the sacrifice that Yahushua put up. As if he was required to do it, or, you know, which technically it was prophecy. So it wasn't required, you know, it was required. But you know what I'm saying? As if he owed you niggas something. As if y'all did no wrong.
He was happy to do it.
Yeah.
For our sake. That's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't grudge about it.
Yeah.
He took it on the chin when he prayed to the Lord to let it pass and not happen. And it wasn't. He said, "If it's your will."
Yeah.
That's a key point.
Yeah. If not.
And he took it on the chin. The same thing we got to do.
We just taking this shit on the chin, man. Ain't nothing else we can do. So Jake gonna hate us and you know whatever, but hey, you know, hey.
I got a quick one.
What it say? Forgive them, Father, for they know what they.
Yeah.
For they know not what they do.
Stephen.
Yeah. Because who was in that crowd during the time? Huh?
Solid Tarsus.
Right. And who was that known to be?
Apostle.
Later on. There you go. So imagine he just condemned the whole crowd, and you know the Apostle Paul with it, but he already. Hey, we understand. We know these niggas don't know no better. They can't help it. They're the 2/3. They're written to be like that. Can't help it, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't mean we ain't got no sympathy for these niggas. Hell nah, but in the same breath, it's like, you know, hey, we understand. Go ahead. You had something real quick you said?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hebrews 10 and 29, you talk about Yahushua.
Yeah.
It says, "Of how much sore punishment suppose ye shall he be worthy, with trodden underfoot the Son of God, and hath counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified an unholy thing, and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace." So it's talking about how, when you read this in context, people abusing, Yahushua's sacrifice and basically taking it lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like, how bad do you think you're gonna get it for doing that? It's gonna be real bad. You're gonna get punished severely for that. It's not a light thing. This man's blood was spilled for our sake. We're not to take that for granted. Right? We have liberty in Yahushua to conduct ourselves to the best of our ability. That gives us mercy, but it doesn't give us an excuse or a license to sin, like the scriptures say. This is a very sacred thing that we're talking about. This is the Lamb without blemish. So you despise that, you're going to be destroyed, because nobody's going to be covering your sins. There's no more physical sacrifices. Jake still be walking around in that same mindset of back then, when they just have a dove in their back pocket.
Yeah. It's
not like that. And that's just wicked as hell anyway.
Yeah, Jake had the mindset of that. That's why the Lord did away with that. It's like, y'all niggas y'all not getting the point. The point is what Samuel said. Yeah, go ahead real quick. That's the point. You're missing the point of the whole reason as to why you even have laws. I gave you laws to adhere to them, so that way you listen, so that way you're better off. And I have, now there's a law if you do go off, and there's a way for you to make things right. But nigga, you can't make things right if you already had it in your mind to go do that. And then if you can't get that on one, like 39 or 38 or something like that, or maybe 43. We're talking about to what avail of his washing.
Oh, touching the
dead body.
That's 39.
Let me see. 34. Okay, 34. or something?
I think so. I don't know. He didn't say. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I got it.
you gonna charge it?
No, I was just saying that she was outside.
Oh,
I can't see if she's doing it.
oh, okay.
All right. Sirach 34:25. It says, "He that washeth himself after the touching of a dead body, if he touch it again, what availeth his washing?"
Yeah, because you're unclean if you touch a dead body. You know, that's why it's best to, not do it. Damn, but you're unclean if you touch a dead body. So if you touch a dead body, go wash your hands, and you go back and touch it, to what avail of your washing? What was the point, pretty much, for you to go and do it again? Go ahead.
It says, so is it with the man that fasted for his sins and goeth again and doeth the same. Who will hear his prayer, or what doeth his humbling profit him?
Yeah, because when you fast, you're getting closer to your how about Shai, especially when you do that dry 24. Okay, that's the time where ultimately you're repenting and getting a clean state, if you will, because you're pretty much you're starving out your flesh, and you're feeding more so into your spirit. You're meditating. Obviously you're still doing your day to day. You're reading lessons, watching lessons, so on and so forth. But on a fast, it's more in tune. You might study a little bit more, or you might just, like I said, I know for me personally, I'm more so in a meditative state. I get to more of a meditating and praying to the Lord or whatnot. But yeah, you do that, and then you go and do the same wicked shit that you just fasted for. You come at there's no point. And that's what Jake was doing with the sacrifices. Like the brother said, turtle dove in the back pocket, ready to go. And that was the mindset of Saul. Go ahead.
And then that was it.
Talking about
Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. It's not a light thing at all.
Yeah, it says suffer not a witch to live. So what obviously what the hell? Rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, so that means you gonna die. That's a long word to your death. And that shows the importance of what the Most High ultimately wants. He just wants you to listen. He wants you to take heed. That's what Saul missed the point. He said, the Lord told him to go and eliminate all of Amalek. Every single last one of them. This nigga come back with the king, the goats. Shit, my people, they want us to go. Fuck the people. What did the Lord want? The Lord wanted you to eliminate all them niggas and the shit that came with them.
Being a respected person.
Yeah, but you going in there and being cute. Had he done that, we wouldn't have these many problems. Realistically. Because Amalek would be gone.
Yeah, not that they won't be here today.
But you keeping that, whatever the fuck what are you doing? Showing you how far or how far back you can be set. How far the setback can be if you don't listen. Take it back to Adam. All we had to do was listen. He listened to the wrong person. He listened to Eve. And she listened to the damn serpent. Yeah. Listening is a very important key in life. And if you misuse it, you could be misled and be fucked up for a very long time.
You didn't even ask no questions. Just okay, baby.
Yeah. Damn. No counsel, no nothing. Just straight up. Yeah. And again, but that's First Ezra, the 4th chapter. Many have sinned and erred for women. Great men. And again, Adam, King Solomon, David had his what you call it?
Run-ins.
Yeah, his run-ins with that.
What, twice?
Oh,
no, once.
No, yeah, just with
the getting killed.
Yeah. Was it Bathsheba? Yeah, Bathsheba, and then Uriah, the Hittite.
Basically committed adultery and murder.
Yep. So.
And then there's Moses. The Rock of Horeb incident.
Oh yeah. You know?
So mistakes happen. Clearly,
Yeah.
you didn't make mistakes, and it happens, and it doesn't make you a terrible person.
Right.
It's not a stain on your honor as long as you're serving the Lord in truth and sincerity. The mercy's there.
Yeah, because it said David was a man after the Lord's heart. I believe, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I did a lesson on that too. You know, showing examples like men that we fully, what's the word? Renowned, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Renowned men in the Bible. Yeah, you know, we revere.
There was another thing too, but not with woman. He numbered Israel.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay. He did a census.
Yeah, and he was told not to.
Yeah.
But that's another example. There's men in the Bible that these are great men, but they had their low points. And so, you know, you apply that to yourself, like, bro, we're going to fall. Mm-hmm. We're going to have our low points, and we're not going to be perfect in any way. Mm-hmm. You know? But, hey, we're still striving to seek out the sure mercies of David. You know, because even throughout all that, the Most High didn't take away any of his promises that he gave to David.
And he ate the showbread on the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was forgiven.
Brush off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, but what does it say? He will have mercy on whom he have mercy. He will have compassion on whom he has compassion. Mm-hmm. It's up to the Lord when it's all said and done. So who are we to go throughout the scriptures and judge? And especially us in this time. Mm-hmm. I mean, you grew up on McDonald's. You can't speak on any of them, the ancient men of the old. Realistically.
Yeah, the sausage.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, the spam. Yeah, you can't go in the scriptures. You grew up on spam. You can't go Vienna sausages. You go in the scriptures. I can't believe David would do some shit like that. Nigga, shut up. You know? Because it's like, what the fuck? That's some ancient time shit, but it really the modern day time shit. Mm-hmm. That's just, so put yourself back then. It wouldn't have been, you eating spam and shit, but it would have been you doing some wild shit like that. You know? Especially once the kingdom split and Northern Kingdom just went to hell. You know? But go ahead, bro. You have more on it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Which, if I could say something about that too, people seem to forget that there's really no difference between the two. And in the sense of, they both have the same parents. Because really, when you go into Native American, it's basically just a so-called black person that was in America. One of the first peoples. Because Latinos and Native Americans isn't really an actual thing on that level, because we're all Israelites. That's the race, Israel.
Right.
And Israel was scattered and has different, names now, ethnicities and all that. But the only thing that separated them was who they chose to follow. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi stuck with Rehoboam, which is what everybody was realistically supposed to do. But it was also a judgment from the Lord that we separated, because it was a prophecy.
Yeah.
I think with I think there was a prophet that gave Jeroboam, gave somebody, I got to go into it again. He gave him like a rent piece of cloth. It was a judgment, I think. Well, yeah, you said Solomon? Yeah. I believe that was part of it. Yeah, we got to go through first and second Samuel.
Yeah. Lord willing, probably like one of the next classes or something.
First Samuel 15. No, I still got to read it.
Okay.
1 Samuel 15 and 23, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. Yeah,
and see, it's likening stubbornness to idolatry. And we already know how the Most High feels about idolatry. It's non-negotiable. I was watching this video earlier, this nigga woman. She kept yelling that shit, non-negotiable. But yeah, idolatry is non-negotiable, y'all, about Shemashah. That's one of the first things he tells you. You ain't gonna, thou shalt not serve no other God before me. You ain't finna be out here worshiping, any willy-nilly motherfucking God just because, you think they got a better option. No, I'm the only option. But Jake wanted to continue to be disobedient. Hell, really, Jake was offensive with asking for a king. Because that's what I believe. That's what Samuel's whole thing was.
Okay.
Oh damn!
Another battery.
But that's the spirit. I can't ask. Like, you getting a charger? I was like, you getting a charger? I asked like twice. I thought he was getting a charger.
Basically, you gotta keep it plugged up because
Yeah, my shit do that too.
Battery was still full, but it just died.
But yeah, that was the whole deal with Samuel. You know, he was like, y'all asking for a king, but you know, the Heavenly Father is your king. You know, that should be enough. But Jake still wanted a king, and they got Saul, and then he did good for a little bit, and then just fell off because of that. That's why Samuel said it. Now that was been rejected for being king. Roughly paraphrasing. That was it. Oh, shit. You still waiting? So
No, I mean it's dead.
Oh, damn.
I gotta wait for it to charge a little bit.
We'll go, Lloyd. You got something? If not, you get back to that.
Coming back. I ain't gonna lie.
Get that Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah. Start at verse 3. Got a couple more. Probably can wrap it up.
I think I read 3. Yeah, I read 3.
I think we're about like 42.
Yeah, I read 3.
Yeah.
Read it
again.
It says, for those they be punished in the sight of man, yet is their hope full of immortality. Immortality.
Yeah, immortality. Okay, their hope is full of immortality. And as I said, for though they be punished in the sight of men, so it's gonna look like it's a bad judgment. You know, if a brother get beheaded or whatever, hey, that's a first class ticket on the chariot. And the scriptures speak about the souls that were beheaded. You know,
24.
Yeah, speaks about that. So it's already prophecy. It's already a part of the story. And who are we to try to rewrite it? If that's your lot, then hey, brother, that's just your lot. There ain't shit we can do about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we know.
What you saying, the beheading?
Yeah. But it's not like we know. And on top of that, going into what was mentioned earlier, we're not moving through here with a timid mindset. Yeah. We ain't finna move through here with a timid mindset. Damn, what if I get beheaded? Bro, if you're thinking like that, and you're that concerned about it, you're going to fall out.
Scared of man.
Yeah, exactly. You're scared of the power that Esau can do. He can't do shit.
That shit is weak. And it's quick.
Yeah.
You know what you signed up for, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, you signed up for it, and then after that, you just decide, wow, this is too much.
It's like the same with Jake in this fucking street lifestyle. You join the streets, and then you get shot in your ass, and now you're shaky. I mean, that's part of the fucking, yeah. You know, that was what one mob dude told another guy. He said with the mob, he's like, part of his job, a big part of it is prison. You need to be ready for that.
John Gotti.
A lot of them served a lot of time.
Hell yeah.
And now this is for righteousness' sake. You might have to go to prison. You might have to die. That's just a part of the program. But you're going to be rewarded regardless.
And if you're not willing to
go through that, money either.
Yeah, if you're not willing to go through that, then you just shouldn't have came in. No. Because the thing is, now we're at the point to where it doesn't even matter if you leave, because Esau's still going to bring the hammer down on you.
And he's really going to get
then your ass really going to get got.
You ain't got no covering.
Yeah, no hedge, no protection. Then what are you going to do?
Especially if you stop teaching and shit.
So we're literally at the point of no return. Like, we're knees deep, motherfucker. Like, we don't have a choice. You know, what was me if I preach not the gospel? We don't have a choice but to continue. Mm-hmm. You know, but brothers want to continue. You know?
I got a quick one.
Because it's like, shit, fuck it. This place is about to crumble, and we about to be up next. Because otherwise, that means you want to continue to work, you want to continue to be in this body, and you want to continue to suffer. Which means you want to continue to be a slave. Mm-hmm. Who in their right mindset wants to continue in that state? In that cycle too. Yeah, it's a cycle. Yeah, living and dying. Death is not natural, bro.
You're tired of seeing it. Yeah.
I'm tired of funerals and hearing about this, and damn, can't believe that nigga died, man. Shit. I remember back then, all these memories and shit. Nah, bro, we should be able to be flourishing.
It said God created man to be immortal in the image of his own.
Right. Yeah. And then then especially if you got kids, you got to bring kids up into this wicked ass shit. You got to before you go to school, remember, boys are with girls, girls are with boys. That's a conversation you shouldn't have to have with your goddamn 5-year-old, man. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, you have to, because this place is going to push contrary onto your kids, man.
Shouldn't even really be stranger danger.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to worry about somebody trying to take your kid.
That's some neighborhoods used to watch out for each other and shit like that. You used to be able to go to your neighbor crib and there was nothing. Yeah. Now you gotta, man, this nigga might have an allegation. You know, I don't know. You know.
Is he on the sex offender list?
Yeah. You gotta look this nigga up. That's too much, man.
In your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which he should be dead.
Exactly.
That's the thing. There's a lot of people, which really all of us, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of people walking around committing crime, and by crime you go into the etymology. That's a sin against God. That's what crime really is.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people walking around that were supposed to be put to death.
Yeah.
And a lot of them ain't even going to jail.
No.
Or getting any form of punishment. They're getting off with it or getting a light sentence. Mm-hmm. Some people are getting, minimal time for cold-blooded murders. Mm-hmm. He should be killed.
There's one dude, he killed this one nigga back in like 2014. But his people got paper. So he got out. He got out on bail, then he beat that damn case. And then he killed another nigga that was in the army like 2 years later. Beat that case because he had bread. And I think he got another nigga. But he did like a little bit of time. But the nigga did, regardless, he got 2 murders on his rap sheet. And he was able to beat those just because of the fact that he had money.
And his money shouldn't be able to.
And his people knew the fucking judges and shit.
Small head. Yeah. But they like too.
No. Dude might have been in jail. Is a possibility. Obviously, he looked like he might have been in jail though. But his people was loaded, and they, like I said, they knew the judge and everything, so niggas were tied in.
Not in trouble as other men.
Yeah.
Bribery and wickedness.
Yeah, because even you got Jake, even with these wicked ass niggas, they get beaten charges and shit. Young thugs should still be locked up. Yeah, just because you're able to pay a lawyer off, that shouldn't grant you freedom. Because nowhere in the law does you can pay your freedom off. No, there's a judgment, and there's a judgment. Goddamn it! If you do this is gonna happen.
Do it in front of everybody.
Yeah. Even when you go into something as simple as, and not saying it's simple, but in something as simple as when dealing with cattle. Like if your ox was to kill somebody else's ox, you gotta repay that, or buy another one. You gotta go into it. I can't remember, but in so many words, you gotta pay them, repay
one of your
first
or something like that.
You go into this a little bit more into it, but just the gist of it. There's a penalty though. Great. 50, you gotta pay them shekels to the father.
And you gotta marry him.
Yeah.
That's your wife.
And then cause one of the elders had sent in the chat the other day, that nigga Speed, the streaming nigga.
Yeah, no.
I show Speed, yeah, some streaming nigga. But he was overseas, like Africa or some shit. And it was a junk. And he was like, man, I'm making my wife. And then her dad pulled up. And he's like, oh, this your wife? He was like, no, that's my daughter. I was like, oh, he was like, oh shit, this your daughter. And he was like, dude was like, what do I need to do to make her my wife? He's like, give me 17 cows. He's like 17 cows. But when brother had looked it up, one of the elder brothers had looked it up, that's like, I think it was like 30 to 50K.
You know how much money he can make off of them cows, dude?
Exactly. So it's like, that's just an example of like, and again, compared to back then, them 50 shekels, that damn show that was some bread.
That show was property too, though.
Exactly, right.
And because the scripture said, you get a wife, you
get possession. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, damn, 30 to 50? But it shows you that makes it so much more like men would think about that shit. If you knew for a fact that, okay, I like her, let me go do that. Oh, wait, hold on now. I got 60K, that's gonna run me loose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right.
It might not even have that.
And really, you ain't even got it. So it's like, shit, you gotta burn, goddamn.
I got one, a word.
Oh, yeah, come.
Like you're basically saying, in a society where consequences, follow quickly, where the law is not slack, it causes people to think more about their actions. Mm-hmm. So I got a word called forethought, and it says it means thinking or planning ahead, showing care or provision for the future, and anticipating needs or problems before they happen. Right. Involving concepts like prudence, preparation, and judgment.
Yeah. So the poor judgment, and that's what was, because of poor judgment, niggas they ain't thinking ahead. They're not prudent, so they just going and doing shit.
Impulsive.
Yeah, impulsive behavior. That's why a lot of these niggas are in jail, in prison. Impulsive behavior. Man, what nigga? Man.
Supposed to be slowing around.
You know, you shot this nigga because he pushed you. Y'all could have squabbled. You could have walked away. You know, you could have did anything else but that. Now your ass sitting behind bars. You know what I'm saying?
Some of that, I mean, which we're not saying, we're not carnal at all. We're spiritual. And
right.
The scriptures clearly tell us to just avoid altercations.
Altogether.
Try to kill a situation, not the dude. You know, kill the situation.
Yeah, right.
But even in a situation like that, like there's times where, bro, y'all could just throw hands or something. Why are you immediately trying to take this man's life over some fucking small ass shit? And Jake gets shot over the stupidest shit nowadays.
Yeah, like the dude I was talking about earlier, he shot the first dude he shot. That was over a damn woman. Goddamn way, and then that nigga died. The dude that she was with, because apparently she was texting that nigga too or some shit. So they was supposed to link up and fight. That nigga came from behind the bush, shot that nigga, killed him. God. So that nigga died over that bitch. She is now 2 kids later, and I think she's with some other dude or some shit, and maybe a different baby daddy. So you that nigga died for nothing. That was shit 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Nigga been in the earth for 13 years for nothing. Well, no, not that. That wasn't that long. It was like 20. It was 2014.
About 10, 11.
About 11 years ago. But yeah, in the earth for nothing. But again, impulsive behavior, not being rational, not thinking. And that's the thing. Us as believers, we don't have the space to. I know LD Shalawam did a video on a couple months ago. It was a while ago, but in so many words, the title was, we don't have the space to move like civilians. We can't be moving like these niggas is moving. That bitch just got shot in her face. That was rational movement, or irrational. Irrational. That was impulsive behavior. We can't be moving around like these niggas, man. We gotta move smart. Because ultimately, again, we fear Yahweh Shema Shah. He can take us out at any given point in time for moving in a stupid ass manner. And sometimes you just get mercy taps and it'll still fuck you up. But it's just like, he'll smack shit at you and it's like, hey, nigga, tighten up. And because really, you got to think, bro, that could have been your last warning. And you had to move like that. The last warning that you got from the Lord could have been your last one. And then the next time you do that shit again, you could just be taken away with it. So you had to fear, you had to be mindful. You got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead. And then we'll get the, what you got?
I ain't got
Or the 3? You still on it?
Yeah.
Get 5 and 6 and then we'll close.
All right.
Proverbs 25 and 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Yeah, so you got to be able to rule your own spirit, man. I said spirit. You got to be able to rule your own spirit. All right, if you can't rule your own spirit, you're going to be in a heap of trouble. You're just going to bring more and more problems into your life that are ultimately unnecessary. And then the biggest thing is Jake not being able to rule their own spirit. Now the body is involved. When you getting arrested because of unruly behavior in public, or you fighting your baby mama, or you doing this and doing that, then brothers gotta get you from jail or pick you up with some shit because she done kicked you off on I-24. And it's gonna like, bro.
In the rain.
It's raining. It's like, brother. What the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, we here for you, bro, but damn.
That might come with consequences.
Exactly, because then you could get suspended. You could be, kicked out. You got to think.
Night.
Yeah, because brothers going to make sure you good, but we ain't going to coddle you. We ain't going to pick you. Oh, it's okay, brother. I know that bitch been tripping. No, bro. You knew she was tripping the day you goddamn met with that hoe. Brothers told you about that. You'd already sought counsel. You still went to go do it. Now you in a fucked up position and you looking for some help. We gonna assist you in a means of currently right now via arrested, dropped off, kicked out, whatever. But You gonna hear this shit.
Pull up, see the Shalawam, bro. Get in the car.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll see you later, guys. Shalom, get in. You know, just
now,
real quick. Cause you know, and sometimes that's necessary, but you don't want to make that a habit. You know, just leave that more so for our younger days. But we're coming into the times now, bro. We ain't got time for that shit no more.
Yeah.
You know. So JB knowing, you know, you gotta be wise, bro. If you know your car's not in the best shape, why on earth would you go on a 5-hour trip? Then halfway through, Shalawam Makim, can I get help with the tow truck? You knew your battery was bad.
Why you ain't got no insurance? You got
tow
busters?
But fuck all that. You knew that shit was bad. Why would you go?
Yeah.
If it's not 100%, that's it. If I'm going anywhere, my shit has to be 100%. Maybe 90, but 100%.
You know the battery ain't gonna down.
Exactly.
Shit, you know.
It has to, as long as I know my tires are good, I got a good battery, and I ain't got no problems with like engine function and shit like that. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I might have a little thing where it's like, okay, I need to get this fixed when I get back. You know, or I just, you know, my old light just came on the day before. I can do that to get back. You know, shit like that.
Or have a brother change it.
Yeah. Something, but it's simple shit. But your transmission on the way out, and you think it's wise for you to goddamn, no, bro.
You know how you drive.
You have all the brothers ride with you.
Yeah. Then you bring everybody with you. Yeah, hop in with me, Hakeem. Keep in mind, he ain't told nobody. Fucking, you can never. It's good out. Yeah, no, that's just the road. No, it ain't. No, it's not, bro. You're lying. You got
strike.
You finna have us fucked up out here, man. We got to call up top of shit. Now I'm getting cussed out because your ass didn't want to tell nobody about your car. Hey, bro, Jake, you doing that shit. But the point is, man, we can't continue that. You know, it's a lot, you know, folly, but you gotta have fun with it, you know.
Be moments.
Yeah.
Be serious. Like, it happens. So.
Yeah, kind of. It definitely does.
Riding on the fucking donut to,
yeah, right.
Why you didn't tell the chat that you needed a tire with the tires or something? Fuck, bro.
Go ahead, you say you had a quick one?
Yeah. Sirach 37:16. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
There you go. Counsel before every action. Let me get that word. Let's see. For enterprise. Read that again.
Sirach 37:16. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
Yes, the enterprise and enterprise jumping down. It says a venturous disposition, readiness to undertake challenges, spirit of daring. So yeah, let reason go before every enterprise. When you try to get out there and have that dare spirit of just goddamn saying fuck it. No, you need a reason. You know, you need to be mindful. Okay, is this prudent? You know, is this profitable? Is this gonna work? Is there a possibility, you know, that A, B, and C, you know, now granted you can have your whole car fine, you take a trip, you bust a tire. That's safe. You can't do nothing about that shit. But we're talking about you willingly knowing, and we're just using the car as an example. There's many other things. Okay. You know, cars, like I said, you dealing with a certain type of woman. All right. You know what position you know what situation you're putting yourself into. So you just gotta be mindful. You gotta think about these things, man. Impulsive behaviors also include shit. Just up and man, fuck this shit. I'm out. You quit. Get another job before you goddamn quit. You know, have something set up at least. Now, getting fired and getting another quitting, two different things. If you get fired, fuck it. That's impulse, or that not impulse, but that's in the moment. We gotta figure it out. You know, brothers will put their heads together. We'll figure it out. But you just up and leave, no plan or nothing. It's like, bro, what the fuck? And again, it goes back to the body, because now it's burdensome to the body. Brothers gonna do it. Brothers may have the resources, but bros are already battling their own shit. We don't have time to fight another man's fight alongside ours. And it's not to sound selfish, but it's real.
You gotta put yourself
Yeah.
first. I mean, you know.
It says work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I can't work out another brother's salvation. I can help him. You know, because we're brothers. We in this war together. We fighting for the same penny, but you know, it's just certain, you know, many things to be mindful of. And Lord willing, I'll probably go into a lesson and try to expound on it just a little bit. But that was it on that?
Yeah.
All right, you get that. Get them last two and then close on that.
Wisdom Solomon 3 and 5 and 6, it says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For God proved them and found them worthy for himself.
Yep.
As gold in the furnace have he tried them and received them as a burnt offering.
Right. So we're being put in that furnace right now. We're being tried as gold is tried in fire. You know, and for all the people that deal with the metals, the way to know that the gold is at its pure state is when you can see your reflection. Okay? Once you can see your reflection, and that means all the impurities are gone. So until Yahweh Shem Shai sees his full-on reflection, we still going to be, you know, we still have to purge out these impurities. There you go, the water. These impurities. Almost said iniquities. But really, we gotta get rid of that. We gotta get rid of that too, you know. That's sin upon sin. We gotta try to offend less. You know. So we gotta constantly work on ourselves, constantly, you know, fight. Okay, because again, we're gonna be greatly rewarded for going through these things. You know. We're gonna be greatly rewarded, and when it's all said and done, we're gonna look back and be like, man, this was nothing. This was easy. All right. But that's just kingdom mindset, though. And that's not something that every Jake has. That was it on that. You got Matthews?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Matthew 4 and 17. From that time, Yahweh began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Yep, repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So again, that's the message, you know. We just wanted to put that up. And Lord willing, it was edifying to the elect. Before we close once again, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Chakadash. Double honors once again, as always, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who were well and taught us his truth. Peace and much love and salutations always to those for elect. To the next one, Shalawam.
Shalom.